Hello everyone, welcome to the UPSC EPFO APFC क्वेश्चन पेपर डिस्कशन। ये फाइनल पार्ट है। यहाँ पे हम क्वेश्चन नंबर 99 से 120 तक डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं। अगर आपने प्रीवियस पार्ट्स को नहीं देखा तो आप उसको देख सकते हैं। The angle of elevation of the top of a tower from the top and bottom of a 10-meter tall building is 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. Approximately, what is the height of the tower in meters from the top of the building? Given that root 3 equals to 1.73. बताया गया है the angle of elevation of the top of a tower from the top and bottom of a 10-meter tall building are 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. Approximately, what is the height of the tower in meters? अगर सिर्फ इतना पूछा होता तो ये कंप्लीट हाइट होता, लेकिन बताया गया है व्हाट इज द हाइट ऑफ द टावर इन मीटर्स फ्रॉम द टॉप ऑफ द बिल्डिंग, यानी कि यहां से यहां तक का जो ये हाइट है ये बताने के लिए कह रहे हैं। सो लेट अस अज्यूम दैट दिस हाइट ए बी इज इक्वल्स टू एक्स। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग देखें कि अगर DE 45 डिग्री है और ये राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल है तो यहाँ पे ये आइसोसेलेस ट्राइंगल हो जाएगा, ये भी 45 डिग्री हो जाएगा। और अगर हमने इसे x अज्यूम किया है तो ये टोटल h वाला जो हाइट है ये कितना हो जाएगा, ये 10 प्लस x हो जाएगा। और ये साइड और ये साइड बराबर होगा तो DE भी कितना हो जाएगा, 10 प्लस x हो जाएगा। अब हमें यहाँ पे निकालना है तो हम लोग सीधे लगाएंगे 10 30 इक्वल्स टू ये हाइट कितना है x अपॉन ये बेस कितना है 10 प्लस x। अब यहाँ पे आ जाएगा 10 30 कितना होता है 1/√3, तो x √3 इक्वल्स टू 10 प्लस x लिख सकते हैं। अब यहाँ पे x √3 माइनस यहाँ पे 1, मतलब x को इधर माइनस ले लिया, वो स्टेप भी चाहे तो लिख सकते हैं, तो x को कॉमन ले लिया, √3 माइनस 1 इक्वल्स टू यहाँ पे हो जाएगा 10। अब क्या करेंगे, x इक्वल्स टू हो जाएगा 10 अपॉन √3 माइनस 1। अब यहाँ डिनोमिनेटर में रूट है तो हम इसको क्या कर लेते हैं, 10 √3 माइनस 1 √3 प्लस 1, सेम ऊपर भी √3 प्लस 1, कितना आ जाएगा ऊपर 10 √3 प्लस 1 और नीचे a प्लस बी a माइनस बी क्या हो जाएगा 3 माइनस 1 हो जाएगा। 3 माइनस 1 इक्वल्स टू कितना होता है 2 होता है। अब 10 √3 का वैल्यू कितना दिया हुआ है 1.73, 1.73 से यहाँ पे एक और 1 हमें प्लस कर देना है तो कितना हो जाएगा 2.73 अपॉन 2। अब ये पॉइंट क्या हो जाएगा, एक घर पीछे चला जाएगा क्योंकि 7.3 अपॉन 2 हो जाएगा। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे इक्वल्स टू 2 1 2 2 गुण 2 2 3 गुण 6 7 1 2 6 गुण 12 1 0, देन it will be 13.65, तो C is the correct answer 13.65। अब देखते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर, इसको ऐसे नहीं करके ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं। अगर 10 45 डिग्री निकालेंगे तब ये कंप्लीट हाइट h हो जाएगा और यहाँ पे बेस कितना रहेगा 10 प्लस x, ये हमारा बेस हो जाएगा। इस तरीके से भी हम निकाल सकते हैं। आगे बढ़ते हैं, क्वेश्चन नंबर 100 देखते हैं। A multiple choice question paper has 50 questions. कितना है टोटल नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस है 50 क्वेश्चंस है। Each question has got 4 options A, B, C, D. Each correct answer carries 4 marks and each wrong answer carries -1 mark. A candidate decides to tick in the pattern A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, इस तरीके से सब पे लगाते जा रहे हैं गोले। ठीक है, and so on starting from question number 1 till the end. If option C is the correct answer in each question, then what is the total score of the candidate? अब यहाँ पे कैंडिडेट क्या कर रहा है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 से A B C D इस तरीके से गोला लगा रहा है. अब क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या है, ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर टू ईच क्वेश्चन. हर एक में ऑप्शन सी ही करेक्ट है. तो उसको क्या मार्क्स कितने मिलेंगे ये यहाँ पे पूछा जा रहा है. अब देखिए, अगर उसने ए बी सी डी लगाया तो ए के लिए उसको -1 मिल गया, बी के लिए भी -1 मिल गया, सी के लिए +4 मिल गया और डी के लिए भी -1 मिल गया. तो यहां से उसका जो टोटल स्कोर निकल के आ रहा है 4 - 3 इक्वल्स टू एक नंबर उसको मिल रहा है. एक ए बी सी डी के सेट में यहाँ पे कैंडिडेट को 1 मार्क मिल रहा है. दो ए बी सी डी के में उसको कितना मिल रहा है, 2 मार्क मिल रहा है. 3 में कितना मिल रहा है उसको, 3 मार्क मिल रहा है. अब टोटल 50 क्वेश्चंस है. 50 क्वेश्चंस में ऐसे चार चार के कितने सेट बनेंगे, 50/4 सारी गुण सारी 5 साइड गुण 8 9 10 ना. अब यहाँ पे उसने 12 सेट्स उसके बनेंगे, लेकिन उसके बाद उसके पास 2 रिमाइंडर रह जाएगा. ऐसे 12 सेट बन जाएगा और 2 रिमाइंडर रह जाएगा, मतलब ए और बी क्वेश्चन और रह जाएगा. अब इन 12 में उसके 12 नंबर आ गए. अब जो उसके बाद के 2 क्वेश्चंस होंगे वो ए होगा और उसका आंसर बी होगा. सी तक वो पहुंचेगा नहीं, 2 ही क्वेश्चन है. और इन दोनों क्वेश्चन में उसको -1 और -1 मिलेगा, मतलब टोटल उसका यहाँ पे -2 हो जाएगा. तो मार्क्स कितने हो जाएंगे, 10 मार्क्स. सो सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 101. Which one of the following recommended that the public health expenditure of the union and state governments together should be increased in a progressive manner to reach 2.5% of GDP by the year 2025? तो ये recommendation किसने किया है, 15th Finance Commission का recommendation है that by 2025 the public health expenditure of the union and state governments together should be increased in a progressive manner to reach 2.5% of GDP. Question number 102. Kautilya in his Arthashastra describes the availability of varieties of pearls from the, कहाँ से मिला है, varieties of pearl from ताम्रपर्णी रिवर इन पांड्यान किंगडम. तो पांड्यान किंगडम से यहाँ पे आंसर क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन नंबर सी, ताम्रपर्णी. Question number 103. Which one of the following pairs of dynasty and king of the Vijayanagar Empire is not correctly matched? Sangam dynasty, Harihar II, Saluva dynasty, Timma, Aravidu, Tirumala, Tuluva dynasty, Gunda. So we remember it as Saluva Gunda. So Tuluva dynasty, this will not be correctly matched. Coming to the next question. Question number 104. Vengi, the capital city of the eastern Chalukyas, is identified with which one of the following places? So Vengi is identified with Peddavegi. Peddavegi is the correct answer. Question number 105. Who among the following was the first elected king of the Pala dynasty in Kamrup? In Kamrup, the first will be your Brahmapala to be elected king of the Pala dynasty. So the answer is Brahmapala. Question number 106. Freedom fighter Agadhu Samantra from Orissa served the British Indian Army. Later on, he left the British service to join the Indian National Army INA in 1942. Where was he deputed by INA as a Nasik in the 1st Bahadur Group? So he was deputed in the Burma Fort. B is the correct answer, deputed in the Burma Fort. And from that side only everything was happening during that time. Match list 1 and list 2 and select the correct answer using the code given below the list. Central Trade Union Federation and Political Party. Now, Center of Indian Trade Unions. This is इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया और कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया मार्क्सिस्ट. इंडियन नेशनल ट्रेड यूनियन कांग्रेस, इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, so with B it will be 1. भारतीय मजदूर संघ, भारतीय मजदूर संघ, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, ऑल इंडिया ट्रेड यूनियन. Now if we match B with 1 and C with 2, then we have one such option, that is option number A. So with A, Center of Indian Trade Unions, this is Communist Party of India Marxist, and All India Trade Union Congress, this is Communist Party of India with option number 3. So A is the correct answer. Question number 108. The provision for constituting an expert committee finds place under which one of the following legislations? The Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, the Building and Other Construction Workers Regulation Employment and Conditions of Service Act 1996, Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970, the Interstate Migrant Workmen Regulation Employment and Conditions of Service Act 1979. So the provision for constituting an expert committee finds under which of this? It finds under the Building and Other Construction Worker Regulation and Employment and Conditions of Service Act, Building and Other Construction Act 1996 for expert committee. Question number 109. Which one of the following is provided under the third schedule of the Factories Act 1948? List of occupational hazards, list of occupational diseases, list of notifiable diseases, list of industries involving hazardous process. So, list of notifiable diseases is provided in the third schedule of Factories Act 1948. Under the provision of the Mines Act 1952, the special officer can enter a mine for the purpose of surveying, leveling and measuring after giving prior notice to the manager. At least 3 days in advance. At least 3 days advance he has to give prior notice to the manager. Under the provision of the Payments of Wages Act 1936, every employer of an establishment has to maintain the register and records regarding the wages paid and deductions made in any from the wages and preserve the same from date of entry for a period of, this has to be maintained for a period of 3 years. This is minimum has to maintain. There are 7 hemispherical containers of radius r meters. Each of them is fully filled with water. The water in this is transferred to a hemispherical container of radius equal to 1.5 times of r, such that a maximum number of smaller containers get emptied. Now, how many smaller containers remain fully filled when the larger container gets fully filled? So now they're saying that there are 7 containers, hemispherical containers of radius r meters each, and each of them is fully filled with water. The water in this is transferred to a hemispherical container of radius equal to 1.5 times of r, such that the maximum number of smaller containers get emptied out. Now that means how much water will be there? Volume. Let this be V1 and this be V2. Now if we calculate, then V2 upon V1 is equal to 2 by 3 pi r cube. Here r is 1.5 r times, and upon 2 by 3 pi, here r is r cube. Now what will this gives us? This will give us 1.5 into, you can calculate, 1.5 to 1.5. This will be how much? 225. Then there is again 1.5. So this will give us 2 points are there, so it will come here, and one more because here 2, here 1, so it will come here. It will be 3.375 r cube upon here also r cube. This will also cancel out, so it will give us 3.375. Now coming back, they're asking that how many smaller containers remains fully filled. How many containers will be fully filled out of this 7 containers? Out of this 7 containers, 3 and little bit from the 4th container is also full, also emptied here. So 3 are completely done and 1 more is also half done. So approximately 4. Now it will give us 3 fully filled containers. So the answer here will be 3 because one container is almost 1/3 is gone in this one because it's 3.375, no? So that is why 3 containers will remain fully filled. 3 is the correct answer. Question number 113. What is the length of the radius of the circle that passes through the points 0, 0, let this be 0, 0, then 0, 3, 0, 3 means 1, 2, 3, in the x-axis 0 and in the y-axis 0, 3, and 2, 0, that means in the x-axis 2, in the y-axis 0. So a circle that is passing through here, and they're asking that what will be the length of the radius. Now let us draw it like this or make a chord like this. Now here we will see that, let us mark this as A, B, C. Now this AC here, this AC, if this is the diameter, then AC by 2 is our radius. And how much is this? AC equals to this AB square plus BC square. Right? Now this one is 2. So I can write 2 square plus this one. This one is 3. So I can write 3 square. So root over 2 square plus 3 square. 4 plus 9. Root 13. Root 13 divided by 2. But how do you find root 13? Okay. Root 13 divided by 2. Okay. Root 13 divided by 2. D is the correct answer. Coming to question number 114. Suppose that x and y are distinct variables that take values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the probability that the value of the expression xy plus x plus y is even? Now, it is saying that it takes values from 1 to 6, right? Then what is the probability that it will take? Okay. Now, first of all, how many will be, or how many possibilities are there? 6 into 5 equals to 30. Okay. Now, xy plus x plus y. They are saying that these values, if we will assume, for example, they're taking up values from 1 to like that. So if we will assume that it is 1 into 2 plus 1 plus 2, then this will give us 1 into 2 is 2 plus this is 3 equals to, this will give us 5. If we will, then this value is even or odd, this value is odd. So this will not work. One odd and one even will not give us even. Now if we will check for, say, okay, let me write here. Now if we will check for 1 into 3, that is xy, plus 1x plus y, that is 3. equals to 3 গুণ 3 plus 3 1 4 8. This is odd. So one odd, another odd will also not give us even because this is also giving us odd. Now we will check for 2 into 4 plus 2 plus 4. This will give us 8 2 8 plus 4 5 6 plus 8. This is even. That means if we take both even, then this will give us an even expression, right? Now how is this possible? If we take from these values 2 and 4 we can take. Similarly 4 and 2 also we can take. Then we can take 2 and 6. Similarly 6 and 2 we can take. Then we can take 4 and 6, and similarly 6 and 4 also we can take. So at the max there are 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Now total how many were there? 30. So there will be 6 by 30, which is equals to 1 by 5. So D 1 by 5 is the correct answer. Coming to question number 115. Suppose that AB is more than 0 if the equation x square plus ax plus b equals to 0 has real roots, namely alpha and beta, then which one of the following is correct? Now here what is applied? Vitus formula. Here we have ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. In this form of quadratic equation, the sum of the roots, that means alpha plus beta equals to minus b by a, and the product of the roots equals to c by a. This is the formula, okay? Vitus formula. Now in this formula, if we check here, then the value of a is 1, the value of b is a, and the value of c is b, right? We have to apply the same now. If what is given here, alpha a and b, this value a and this value a and b is more than 0. This is already given to us. Now since alpha plus beta is equals to how much, it will be minus b, that is here value is a, minus a upon what is the value of a? Value of a is 1 upon 1 equals to minus a. So we have the sum of the roots equals to minus a. That means the sum of the roots is less than 0. And if, because minus a is less than 0, that is why the sum of the roots is less than 0. In this particular case, we have, how is it possible? Alpha beta has to be more than 0 or alpha beta has to be less than 0. Value of a we have as in, we have the product, we have the sum of the roots as minus a, which is less than 0. That is why we can say that it will be the second condition. We can take the second condition, that is they has to be less than 0. That is why C is the correct answer. Coming to question number 116. The ages of Mr. Kumar and his son are in the ratio of 5:3. 15 years back, 15 years from now, 15 years back, this ratio was 2:1. 15 years back, it was 2:1, and currently it is 5:3. What was the age in years of Mr. Kumar when his son was born? When his son was born. Now to find this, first we will make this difference equal. Here 2 5 is 3 and 1 3 is 2, so this difference itself is not equal. To make this difference equal, we will multiply this by 2. Here also will multiply by 2. This will give us 2 2s are 4 is 2, 2 1s are 2. Now if we will check 4 and 5, difference is 1, 1 and 3, difference is 1. Now the question is saying that the age of Mr. Kumar and his son are in the ratio 5:3. 15 years back the ratio was 2:1. Now it is 5:3. Right. So now what is their age? If you will calculate into 15, past tenure, 45, and here into 15 পাঁচ পাঁচ 45 75. So for when this difference 1, when it is 45, then he is 75. So when he 45 years back, when this person was born, at that time his age will be how much? Minus 45, sorry, 30. So the age of the Mr. Kumar, age of Mr. Kumar is 30 years when his son was born. In a business firm, assets of the business are valued on the basis of their intrinsic value rather than realizable value. This accounting is based on going concern assumption. We have seen going concern. This is the second or third time. Again, one more question is there where it will come again. Question number 118. Following is the trial balance of a firm as on 31st 12/2022. Trade receivable, provision for doubtful debts, bad debts. The additional bad debts during the year are 2 lakh. The firm has a policy of maintaining a provision for doubtful debts equal to 10% of the trade receivable balance. The total amount to be charged to profit and loss account for the year ending 31/12/2022 for bad debts written off and provision created will be. So the trade receivable is given as 25 lakhs and the additional bad debts which is there, it is 2 lakhs. Now this 2 lakhs, this is the trade receivable, so it will be subtracted from 25 lakhs. So we will have 23 lakhs. First of all, we will have this as trade receivable because this is your bad debt. Now they are maintaining 10% of the trade receivables balance. That means they are maintaining 10% of this amount. That is how much? 230000. Okay, so they are maintaining 2,30,000. Now provision for the doubtful debt, how much it is there? 1,40,000 is there. And now out of this amount we have to remove this doubtful amount. So provision, this has to be removed. So 2,30,000 minus 140. Okay, so this will give us 90,000. So 90,000 will be the correct answer. 90,000. C is the correct answer. Which of the following is not a major consideration in the selection and application of accounting policies? So what are there included? Prudence, we have already seen. This is the second time it is being repeated. It is there. Substance over form, it is there. Materiality is there. Going concern is there. So what is not there? Consistency. This is not in the primary step. However, after that, consistency needs to be maintained so that in future comparisons can be done. Same process has to be applied to find, say for example, if you are finding the total profit or whatever we want to find, whatever sheets we want to create, we have to apply the similar formulas or similar methods. Only then comparisons can be made. If we will keep changing, then it will be difficult. Question number 120, the final question. Consider the following information. Which one of the following is the value of inventory on 31st January under perpetual inventory system using first in last out method? So here 7 to 1400, it is 8800 2700, and this for this 100, if we will take this first in method, then here we have at 7 per unit. So this will give us 700 on 31st, and then remaining 100 units are there. Starting inventory, there will be 100 units remaining. Then on here for the next 9th, this is 200 are there. This will go from 8th. Now here 900 will remain. After 200 is gone, 900 will remain. This 900 at rupees 8, how much it will be? 9 3s are 9 8s are. This is 900 units at 8 equals to 7200. And next this 300 at rupees 9. This 300 at rupees 9. 2700, and this will give us a total of 10600. So C 10600 is the correct answer. So that's all for this question paper discussion. We have completed this series in total 8 parts. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and you can also refer to the other previous year questions for UPSC APFR. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye.